Hello traders, today is day number 65 of the small cap market open test. We did take one trade today, very important trade. I'm going to show you exactly what happened with that trade in just a moment. And this is a trade that will test anyone's discipline, especially a new trader. And if you do not maintain your discipline, if you do not stick to the plan, then your trading results are going to be absolutely meaningless and you'll likely either blow up your account or lose a lot of money unnecessarily. So let's take a look at the screener now. We're using the small cap screener. And you can see it's just about 30 minutes after the open, a little less. And we were trading this, sorry about that lag. We were trading quadruple U, which is still the best stock on the small cap screener. It's the only one that meets our percent change criteria, which is over 5%, and the has the highest volume out of those top stocks there. So anyway, let's get to the video and I'll show you the trade. So here is the, let me just go back to the very open. So this is the market open, just so you can see I didn't skip over anything, just looking for stocks to trade. And I think the first thing we pull up is that quadruple U. So there we go, quadruple U, marking out my levels. And I explained exactly what all these levels mean in my trading plan, which if you're interested is available on Trading Armor. Sorry, it's on patreon.com/Trading Armor. So what I need to see after this white line here is a pullback or a double top, but in this case we got a pullback, which is better. So, and you see I keep moving this white line because this white line is not established until this increase in price stops. So I needed to see this increase stop. So I just keep moving it up until we finally get the top of this ABCD pattern here. So I'm looking for point B of this ABCD pattern. And that's how I define the ABCD pattern, by the way. I do have a video on that if you're not sure what that is. If you just search ABCD on my YouTube homepage, it'll pop right up. So let's take a look at the entry here. So now that this pattern has played out, and this is obviously point B, we have to get in on the first 1 minute candle that makes a new high. So this is an interesting entry, and I was making a live video while I was trading this, commenting on everything that I did, and I think when I do that, I'm just not quite as sharp on my execution. So I'm not sure if that's really what caused me to get filled 1 cent higher, or if I would have gotten filled 1 cent higher anyway. You could see when I triggered the hotkeys, it looked kind of like the price was down at 903 and I got filled at 906. So there could have just been a big spread there. But I triggered a little late. I just want to show you that live because I flubbed my hotkeys. So here's 904. This like never happens when I'm not recording live. I have like laser focus, but when I'm recording live, it's a little bit trickier. I get distracted much more easily. So let's see here. I just want to show you. So I'm waiting for 905. Let's watch what. So there's 905 or better, right? And then instead of me triggering my hotkeys, if you see what happens there, I hit Z instead of Control Z. So that's why that drop down came. So who knows? I may have gotten filled at 905, but could have just as likely been filled at 906 anyway. And there's a reason why I'm harping on that. I'll show you in just a moment. So now I have my stop loss in the appropriate place, which that's written in the plan, and it doesn't matter what anybody thinks about this being a tight stop or not tight enough or whatever. All of my statistics tell me this is the right place to place the stop because this plan is profitable after 77 trades now, holding till 3R. But this, and during the test, we're just holding till 2R because that's how we started the test. So let's take a look at, so here's my calculator, putting in the entry price, the stop loss price, the reward factor. This calculator is also available on patreon.com/Trading Armor. Only if you're interested, no pressure. So now we're all done. We've got the stop loss in place. We've got the profit target in place. We can just sit back and watch the trade play out. One thing I do have to do is mark out, and this is really important. I have to mark out what would my profit target be had I gotten my ideal entry of the 905. So that's what we're doing right now. I'm using the XR calculator here to tell me, and that's 915. Obviously, the math is pretty easy on this one, but I just like to get in the habit of using the calculator. It keeps me from making silly errors when the math isn't so easy or things are happening a lot quicker. So this green line marks out my profit target if I would have gotten my ideal entry of 905. Excuse me. So now what we're seeing happening is this thing breaking out again. And the plan specifically says that if the price gets to 915 and comes down and stops me out, that I have to stop trading for the day. Because what does that mean? It means that the ideal scenario, the trade that I really wanted, was that 905 entry, worked out. And if it worked out without me, then I missed the trade, and that's it for the trade day. I stopped trading at that point. Why? Because you can imagine the frustration. So there you go. It goes all the way to 918, doesn't fill me because the bid has to come up to 918. So, and this happens sometimes. It's been happening a little bit more frequently lately, I think, because of just the lower volume in the small cap market lately. So anyway, we go all the way to 918, tap it, don't get filled because the bid doesn't come up to 918. And we're coming down. And this is the part that's so dangerous for new traders, is because you're going to be tempted to pull that profit target down, and you absolutely must not do that if you're trying to collect good data and make your trading work long term. Because what you're doing by pulling that profit target down is turning a potential 2R trade, or maybe it's 3R if that's what you're doing, into say a 1.5R trade or something like that. And even if that trade ends up green, now your next trade that loses could knock out most of that win, and this could be a cycle. So I know this is kind of hard to understand, and it's not easy to explain either. This is a much more long-term outlook on trading. You can't just focus on whatever I have to do to make today green is all that matters, because green is all that matters and blah, blah, blah. If you do that, all of your green days are going to be very small because you're always going to be taking your profit early. And then your red days are always going to be the same size, that you're always going to let the trade hit your stop, but you're never going to let the trade hit your profit target where it should be. So, and I speak from experience. Back in the beginning of my trading, I had like a 13-day green streak. Why? Because I was selling out early on every single trade. 13 days of green sounds wonderful. Well, on day 14, I wiped out all 13 days of that green. And that could never happen now with this trading system, because every single trade here has a maximum of -1R loss. And the winners at this point have a 2R profit target, so they're always going to make 2 times what my losses are. But eventually, when we start trading this thing full time, the winners will have 3 times profit compared to what we will lose on the losing trade. So that's what we're doing, and it's working so far. We're going to stick to it. So anyway, that's the end of the trade, and that's the end of the trade day, because whenever something like that happens, as I said, if my profit target gets hit for my ideal entry and then I get stopped out, I have to stop trading. And again, that's just good trading discipline. It's a good habit to get into. You do not want to jump into some other trade after something like this happens, because you're going to be frustrated. You're going to start making stupid decisions. I'd much rather walk away -1R than turn this day into a -2 or -3R day, or worse, because if I break my plan, then I'm likely to continue to break it. And I might end up, with a -5 or 6R day or whatever. So anyway, today was a good trading day. Even though what we wanted to happen didn't quite happen, we stuck to the plan 100%. And that's all you can do as a trader. And after you take 100 trades, you'll know whether what you're doing is working or not, as long as you're doing the same exact thing every day, and as long as you're sticking to your rules and sticking to your plan. That's the only way you'll ever know. So anyway, hopefully this video was helpful to you. Tomorrow I will be trading. Most likely there is something that might come up tomorrow. I'm just not quite sure yet. But anyway, I plan on trading tomorrow so far. So hopefully there will be another data entry on the spreadsheet, and then we can go over where we are right now. So 77 trades into it, 23 more to go, and then we'll be done. And it's also, I just want to mention, if you're still listening, it's very important for me to take this thing all the way to 100 trades, even though so far I know it works. I don't want to just turn into full position size trading and activate the plan, because this is another example of exercising trader discipline. We set out to take 100 trades, and that's what we're going to do no matter what. So anyway, hopefully this video was helpful to you. If it was, hit the like button. If you haven't done so already, subscribe. If you have any questions, let me know in the comment section below. As always, go into every single trade with a plan. Stick to that plan no matter what. Always take your stop losses, honor your profit target, and in the long run, you should be green. Take care.